Hello everybody, it's the TV Optimist, and today I'm talking about Death Battle! Hosted by Wizard and Boomstick, this show is all about famous fictional characters and battles. To the death! And I just jumped into my favorite episode. Let's just talk about the matchup, shall we? Boba Fett versus Samus Aran, back when animation was very terrible. Akuma versus Shang. I was very happy about this one because I love Akuma from Street Fighter and I love Shang, and I was like, I love Mortal Kombat, but Akuma's fucking wrecking Shang. He's destroying him. Rogue versus Wonder Woman. Goomba versus Koopa was very funny. Hagar versus Zangief. That's a dope ass fight. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Battle Royale. So all four of the Turtley boys fighting each other. In a follow-up to this one, Leonardo won. He's my favorite turtle. This is the first one with a returning fighter. Zitz from Battletoads versus Leonardo. Yoshi versus Riptor. At the time, they didn't know Riptor was female, so this is the first ever male versus female fight. Felicia versus Taokaka. Kratos versus Spawn. I was kind of upset about this one. I think I still am. Yeah, I still am. Bomberman versus Dig Dug. Vegeta versus Shadow the Hedgehog. Mario versus Sonic. Justin Bieber versus Rebecca Black. A very comedic episode. Luke Skywalker versus Harry Potter. Chun-Li versus Mai Shiranui. Starscream versus Rainbow Dash. This is the reason why Rainbow Dash is my favorite pony, and I've never even seen My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. Master Chief versus Doom Guy. Eggman versus Wily. Zelda versus Peach. Thor versus Raiden. It was one that really made me mad when I first saw it. Going back to it, I agree that Thor should have won. Thor's the winner. He deserved it. Link from Legend of Zelda versus Cloud Strife. My favorite episode, Batman versus Spider-Man. If you talk about superheroes, if you talk about DC, who's your favorite DC? Most people will say Batman. Most people will say Batman. Some people will be like, well, but I like this very obscure character because I'm obscure, and it's like, okay, cool, we get it. You fucking read comic books. Batman is in everyone's home. Who's your favorite superhero, Billy? I like Batman or Spider-Man. Spider-Man's my favorite superhero of all time. I think I've mentioned that. I have. Yes, I have. I've talked about the Amazing Spider-Man films. So I was really into this episode. I said no matter what, whoever wins, Spider-Man better. I'm gonna like the episode. Pikachu versus Blanca from Street Fighter, and I hated the ending. And then Goku versus Superman. Goku! That's crazy. This was all in one season. Lots of good fights the first season where we see the great improvement in animation throughout. It's dated now, but I loved this first season when I first saw it. The reason I picked Batman vs. Spider-Man as my favorite is because it pitted my favorite DC hero against my favorite Marvel and all-time favorite hero against one another. And my favorite one! There's a bunch more seasons, so we'll be talking about it for a while. Season 2. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I'm going to go to Season 2. He-Man versus Lion-O. My favorite episode, Shao Kahn versus M. Bison. Ryu Hayabusa versus Strider Hiryu. Ivy versus... I'm going to sneeze. God. Bless me. Ivy versus Orchid. Fox McCloud versus Bucky O'Hare. Terminator versus RoboCop. It's a big one. Luigi versus Tails. Pokemon Battle Royale. So it's Charizard versus Blastoise versus Venusaur. Fulgor versus Sector. That's another cool one. Godzilla versus Gamera. Batman versus Captain America. Tiger Zord versus Gundam Epion. Ryu versus Scorpion. Another dope one. Deadpool versus Deathstroke. You gotta. Kirby versus Majin Buu. Ragna versus Soul Bad Guy. Gara versus Toph. Boba Fett versus Samus Aran, but remastered to have a better. They're like that first one's terrible, so they made a new one in 3D. Same results though, so it was kind of like, all right, nice little bonus episode. Get the fuck out of here, Jesus Christ! Chuck Norris versus Segata Sanshiro. Guts versus Nightmare. Iron Man versus Lex Luthor. Beast versus Goliath. Goliath being from Gargoyles. Solid Snake versus Sam Fisher. Darth Vader versus Doctor Doom. Goku versus Superman 2, because they had new powers, and it was like, whatever, dude. Goku versus Superman is such a divisive episode, and they were just like, you know what, we're going to make another one just to divide it even more. The rematch, like, come on, man. Donkey Kong versus Knuckles. Wolverine versus Raiden from Metal Gear Solid. Hercule Satan versus Dan Hibiki. It's a funny episode. Yang versus Tifa. Yang versus this episode made me want to watch Ruby, RWBY. I think that's how you pronounce it. Mega Man versus Astro Boy, Green Arrow versus Hawkeye, and Pokemon versus Digimon. That's 32 episodes this season. Holy shit! More fights for people to get mad at. Yay! Shao Kahn versus Bison. Man, what a fucking season this one was. We got ourselves a remaster of the very first Death Battle episode. We've got our first rematch with new rules, just so fucking many fan favorite fights, and I absolutely loved every fight. I fell off Death Battle for a while and started rewatching months ago and played catch up quickly, smack dab in the middle of this season. And that's the story of how I started reviewing this web series. Thank you. See you next time. Yeah, I used to put my son down. We'd lay back on the couch, look at the TV. You're the TV. Hello, TV. We'd lay down, I'd have him, and then I'd be rubbing his back and everything. A little cuddle boy. I miss those days. Kind of. I mean, he's still a cuddler, but I don't put him down anymore. But I used to put him down, and then Death Battle. Death Battle! And I'd be watching Death Battle, catching up on episodes while he laid with me. And he'd fall asleep. Normally, there was times where he wouldn't want to. But that's how I started watching it. Death Battle Season 3. I don't even have an intro. I just jump in a favorite episode. That's funny. Dante versus Bayonetta. That one was very divisive because it spawned... I think that's the one that spawned the spinoff DBX, which we'll talk about. Bowser versus Ganon. My favorite episode, Ratchet and Clank versus Jak and Daxter. Flash versus Quicksilver. Joker versus Sweet Tooth. Mewtwo versus Shadow. Meta versus Carolina. Cammy versus Sonya. Tracer versus Scout. Ken versus Terry. Amy Rose versus Ramona Flowers. Hulk versus Doomsday. Zorro versus Urza. And Deadpool versus Pinkie Pie. And that's all. 14 episodes. This might be the shortest season, I think. This is the shortest season of the series. It's got some good ones, like the one I chose as my favorite above. I fucking love Ratchet and Clank. Jak and Daxter can still collectively suck my nutsack. Still having fun watching the series. Yeah, Jak and Daxter, man. When we talk about those games, I got some shit to say. Fuck, that's funny. Can collectively suck my nut. Death Battle Season 4. This season was okay. I'm sort of questioning the logic behind it now. The so-called research that goes above and beyond from episode to episode. Yeah, this is like 10,000 times. Like, oh my god, what the fuck is going on? Like every episode's bigger and bigger. Lara Croft versus Nathan Drake. It's a cool matchup. It's a kind of a dumb ending, I think. Scrooge McDuck versus Shovel Knight. Venom versus Bane. Can you get the fuck off my screen? Thank you. It's still there. Power Rangers versus Voltron. Natsu versus Ace. Sub-Zero versus Glacius. Android 18 versus Captain Marvel. Metal Sonic versus Zero. Lucario versus Rainamon. Balrog versus TJ Combo. Combo! Combo breaker! Ultra! No, Shredder versus Silver Samurai. Smokey the Bear. They just say Smokey Bear, but it's Smokey the Bear versus McGruff the Crime Dog. That's hilarious. Thor versus Wonder Woman. Naruto versus Ichigo. Batman Beyond versus Spider-Man 2099. And Sephiroth versus Virgil. Yes. My favorite episode was Balrog versus TJ Combo. I fucking love Killer Instinct, and Street Fighter is pretty cool too. So I was rooting hardcore for Combo to take Balrog in this boxing match to the death. I won't spoil what happens because it's such a superbly animated episode. I'll only stop watching the series when it ends, so despite my apathetic view towards it, I'm still having fun rather than feeling bored or anything like that. Despite my apathetic view towards it, I'm still having fun. If I was having fun, I wouldn't be really apathetic, would I? I mean, I guess, in a way, it's just like whatever. Season 5. I think that's all that I reviewed so far. I don't think I did Season 6 yet, because this is back in February 2020. Yeah, I haven't reviewed Death Battle Season 6 yet. I think I'm set to very soon, so I'll come back to it whenever I come back to it. We continue to see people kill each other. Dope. So there's Black Panther versus Batman. Raven versus Twilight Sparkle. Jotaro versus Kenshiro. My favorite episode, Crash versus Spyro. Sora versus Pit. Leon Kennedy versus Frank West. Doctor Strange versus Dr. Fate. Ryu versus Jin. Samurai Jack versus Afro Samurai. Carnage versus Lucy. Optimus Prime versus Gundam. Nightwing versus Daredevil. Mario versus Sonic. The rematch, kind of, with new rules. Ultron versus Sigma. Roshi versus Jiraiya. And Thanos versus Darkseid. Yes, the epic battle between PS1 mascots Crash and Spyro. They have both kind of fell by the wayside from their glory days, but both had an amazing resurgence with their remakes. And I absolutely love Spyro because of my wife, who introduced me to both of these guys, and I love Spyro a lot more, so I was super happy with this matchup. There were some misfires this season, though. Having a rematch between Mario and Sonic with a stupid animation style just to appease the Nintendo fanboys, even though Sonic would absolutely stomp Mario. Still love this show, though. Yeah, Sonic beat the shit out of Mario in the first match. This one, they're like, well, we're just gonna talk about the mainline games. We're not gonna talk about the other games. It's like, even in the mainline games, fucking Sonic the Hedgehog turns into Super Sonic. Mario's dead. Mario has a star, yes, but he needs to collect. I mean, Sonic also needs to collect all the fucking Chaos Emeralds or whatever the fuck to become Super. Whatever. Sonic's faster. Sonic is beating the shit out of Mario. And I love Mario. I love Mario way more than Sonic, but come on now. Come on now. But yeah, that's Death Battle for now. How many more fucking seasons does this shit have? Jeez, oh, Jesus Christ. 6, 7, 8, and there's bonus episodes too. Now let's talk about those, because I don't think I talked about those. Death Battle versus the World is just like a crazy mismatch. Vegeta versus Mewtwo. Mewtwo? That's yeah. Vegeta versus Mewtwo is a joke episode. What happens in this shit? This one up. Yeah. Yeah. Vegeta, Mewtwo, they fight. Buildings where Silvermania's headquarters once stood was nothing more than a crater with a troll face in it. The two combatants can be seen floating above with their arms crossed. Yeah, okay. I think Death Battle versus the World was the crazy one that I'm thinking of. That's the one that has like a bunch of weird shit going on in it. Is it? Is it? No, I'm thinking of a way better show. Death Battle is pales in comparison to this other show that was on the channel for a little bit. We'll talk about that in the future. Or that might be next week, huh? Nope, it's not. Fuck. Damn it. Next week we're gonna be talking about a pretty cool series that I need to start watching again. You guys have a good one. Thank you for watching. And it's time for me to end the video.